どうかしましたか？
すぐに彼女と局まで来てちょうだい。魔法少女たちから襲撃を受けているの。
え？
局からヘリを向かわせているわ。それじゃ頼んだわよ。
Boring. Man. All right, boys and girls. Sasaki and Peeps, okay, had such potential. We're at episode 12. We have one episode left, okay? This season has been this show has been such a mess. Like, I don't have any expectations, but I will tell you, this episode was so boring. I have not come across an anime that has had such a strong start that I have fallen so out of love with, like I have Sasaki and Peeps. And it's so disappointing from so many different facets, because if you go back and watch that opening episode 1, which is like 45 minutes or like an hour or something, like, it was awesome. And then they just went everywhere. It was like some 14-year-old. Sounds crazy, right? But it sounds like some 14-year-old's 𝐒𝐮𝐲𝐽𝐸 dream on paper. Or it sounds like some old man's 𝐒𝐮𝐲𝐽𝐸 dream on paper. Like, they had an idea, and like some editing company was like, "Oh, this is good. Like, you're hired." Like, and he just went, like, magical girls, alternate world, kings, this, that. Oh, how about psychics? And it went wild. And it's not good for it. Episode 11. So we're done with the other world, and we're back in this world again. We're back in Japan, okay? This whole episode was just focused around Shizuka, which is fine. And it was focused on recruiting her, but she was already recruited. But it was about recruiting her back to our side again, or it was about getting her partnership again to do, mass things that Sasaki wants to do and stuff. And it was all about just recruiting Shizuka, which is completely fine, I guess. But then we meet her boss, our old boss, and he has the psychic ability to manifest anything real or fictional, which is like, okay, when they initially kind of showed us that, hey, psychics exist in this world, it was pretty like black and white. It was like pretty much like, oh, I have a little water ability. I have a little bit of water ability. I have a little fire ability. It was pretty much like people have like certain abilities, but nothing was too like grandiose. Then Shizuka came into the play, and then now we have this guy who is able to conjure up like physical beings and stuff based on his imagination. Okay, that's wild. On top of that, the battle between him and Peeps sucks. So Peeps is supposed to be, quote unquote, the most powerful magician to ever live. Like, he's supposed to be like, he could end the world if he chose to. Like, that powerful. Like, he could just Thanos snap the world and it just will go. So why is he struggling? Like, why is he struggling? Why did he allow himself to get cleaved by this random dude who has a pretty good power, I'll admit, but he's supposed to be the most powerful being, like this world and the next kind of thing. So it's like, dude, okay. And then the scenes suck. Like, they're animated. They sure fucking are, but they suck, And then after all that, he was like, oh, can you make a call to your boss that Shizuka's on our side now? And like, okay, that was the outcome of this. And then on top of everything else, at the end, they're like, hey, did you remember the magical girls? You forgot about them, huh? Here they are. Magical girls to end the season. And Hoshizaki's like, we got a problem. And Sasaki's like, tell me more. Tell me about the problem. And the girls are outside like, with their little staffs. Expelliarmus, bitch. Like, it's just so It's so bad. And then on top of everything else, it's like, what is neighbor girl a magical girl? Or like, what the hell was her deal? They showed her so much. She's in the anime, not the art, like the box art, but like she's in the anime like PR, like the marketing stuff. But she's virtually non-existent. And then our girl Hoshizaki or whatever her name is, like she's been pretty much MIA for like 5 episodes. Like she was just like our intro water girl. And then she's just been gone. I just don't think I've ever been this disappointed in a show that had this. If this show just stayed in the one lane, if it just stayed in the one singular lane of old 40-year-old guy discovers Bird ends up being this magician, and we find out somewhere in the season how he got locked into this bird body, because they never fucking talk about that. He gets locked into this bird body, and they explore that, and there's some, like obscenity that happens that he gets locked, and they show us how he traveled to this world and how he unlocked the travel between. And it was just about Sasaki becoming independent in that world, in this alternate world, and taking stuff from Japan. And it was just him being mostly in the other world, but sustaining and bettering his life in Japan through gold bars or just whatever, diamonds. That would be enough. Like, that would be enough. But they decided to go down, well, there's also mob psychos here, psychics are here, and magical girls are here, and he's part of this, syndicate force. He's kind of a policeman, and he's working with this 400-year-old grandma, and this guy they just went too much. And it's not good. Man, I'm just so frustrated with this episode. And hey, you know what? I want to recognize if you're still here and you're one of those who, like, you love this and you thought it was good, like, hey, more power to you. As I always say, these are just my opinions. I'm not trying to imprint my opinion on you. This is just in the moment after watching whatever that was. And they try to sneak in like Sailor Moon music, like Sailor Moon kind of like music to it. Like, you ain't getting me, bro. But if you like it, like, hey, more power to you. I am all about admitting when something is like, might not necessarily be like bad. It could just be bad for me. You know what I mean? Like, I am okay with admitting like that. And I am all about like, hey, if you love it and maybe even if you don't love it, but maybe you're like, hey, it's watchable enough. Like, it's a time filler. Like, hey, I completely love it. I think all anime needs support because like it doesn't have enough of it. Anime just needs more support. So I'm all about it. I'm all about, throwing Crunchyroll my $8 a month, to not use it. It's like, I get it. It's just so disappointing. Anyways, I'm not going to go on anymore. This episode it was booty cheeks, and it just disappointing. So anyways, I'm going to see you guys next week for the last episode. Maybe, I don't know, maybe the magical girls, maybe I'll come around to it. Maybe they'll be incredible. Maybe we'll be taken off to the fairyland. And maybe we'll start trade there or something. I don't know. All right, my friends. I'll see you then for whatever that is. Peace. Have a good weekend.